If, like me, you didn't keep your potato plants mounded up and you have some potatoes that are exposed to the light like you see here, then you will probably end up with some green potatoes. And you've probably heard that you should never eat green potatoes, but does that mean they're a total loss? Let's get into it. So as I mentioned before, you've probably heard it said never to eat a green potato. But why is that? Is it really that dangerous? Well, yeah, that advice is correct. And why is the potato green anyway? Well, a potato turns green because of exposure to sunlight. And this can happen because it becomes uncovered in the ground while it's growing. Like in my garden, if you forget to mound up dirt over your potato plants and the potatoes grow out of the ground, they're exposed to sunlight. It also can happen for stored potatoes. Even potatoes you buy in the store, if you keep them in a place where they are exposed to sunlight, they can turn green. And the reason they turn green is, like we all learned in physical science class, because of chlorophyll. The potato contains chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll is generated in greater abundance when that potato is exposed to daylight. So just like other plants use chlorophyll to make food for the plant, the potatoes do the same thing, and they generate that chlorophyll in greater quantity in daylight. But it's not the chlorophyll that makes it dangerous. The chlorophyll is just a marker, because the conditions that are right for generating more chlorophyll in the potato also generate a compound called solanine. And solanine is a toxic compound. And if the potato generates it, it helps to protect the potato from pests and other issues. And so it's good for the potato. There's nothing wrong from the potato's perspective, but from our perspective, as someone who might consume this potato, it can make us very sick, in a few rare cases, even leading to death. So yeah, don't eat that green potato. Now, I have heard different things about this, and don't take this as advice from me, okay? But I have read in one place that boiling does not remove the solanine, but frying can. However, I read another source that said there's no method of cooking, boiling, frying, roasting, whatever, that can reduce the solanine. So I don't know. Not sure I would trust my life to it. I have read that the solanine generally exists just below the surface of the potato. So if you peel that potato well, you can remove a percentage of that solanine. However, is it worth testing it to get sick? Well, yeah, I don't know. Another indicator that there is solanine present is a bitter taste. It gives off a bitter taste. So even if you have peeled that potato, you think it may be safe to eat, and then when you go to eat it, it tastes bitter, don't eat it. Just leave it alone. But so what do we do with this potato? Well, it can be hard to find seed potatoes in the fall, but it is possible to plant potatoes in the fall. Most people plant potatoes in the spring, and so for fall planting, it's hard to find good seed potatoes. And a lot of people wonder if you can just plant the potatoes from your garden, or whether it's best to use seed potatoes. And I'm not going to say that certified seed potatoes are not better. To be very honest, I'm not sure exactly what makes the difference. But I will tell you that this potato plant right here was grown from a potato that I had dug up earlier this year. It had already started sprouting, so instead of taking it into the house, I went ahead and buried it here, and now we have another potato plant. So will the potatoes from your garden grow potatoes? Well, it may depend on the variety, but it's certainly a possibility. We can plant them now. Here we are in early October. Our first frost here in Zone 6B is usually about mid-October. So we're coming up on our first frost. So it's about time, if we want to do a fall planting of potatoes for an early spring harvest, to go ahead and plant these now. So I'm going to prepare the bed behind me, not the same bed that these came from, because I try to rotate in case there are any diseases that would affect the potatoes that might have gotten built up in that soil over there. I'm going to move to a different place. Also, because of the nutrients that the potatoes or any given crop pulls out of the ground in a certain place, you want to rotate your different crops around so that you're not completely draining the soil in one place of that nutrient. Eventually, if you keep growing the same thing over and over in the same place, the soil is just not going to support that well. So what I'm going to do, in the lack of commercially available seed potatoes this time of year, I've got my green potatoes. Now, solamine and chlorophyll exist in all potatoes. Okay, it's always there. It's just when they turn green that it has enough to be a potential health issue. But that does not affect the safety of using that potato to grow new potatoes. So we can go ahead and plant this. If it grows up, gives us a new crop, then we are golden for next spring. What will happen here in this bed behind me, I'm going to get this soil ready. I'm using a no-till method, so I'm not going to be stirring up the soil too much. Instead, I'm going to be using a broad fork, which you'll be seeing here in a second. And it's a tool that gets in, helps to aerate the soil, gets down into the soil and loosens it fairly deeply, about 9 inches deep, but it doesn't disturb the soil structure for the most part. So all the bacteria culture and everything that is built up in that soil that we want to preserve, that helps our crops to grow, we don't want to get that all disrupted. So using the broad fork helps to loosen and aerate the soil without disrupting the soil structure too much. So we're going to do that. I'll make a couple trenches. I'll put my potatoes in. Now, if you do a fall planting of potatoes that are going to be in the soil over winter, you don't want to do what is called chitting. Okay, and that is when you cut the potato up into sections. It's real common when you plant your potatoes in the spring, and you would cut that potato having sections, each section having its own eyes, and then plant each of those sections. After you let them sit for a while, let them harden off, let the cut portion dry off so they don't rot. The reason you don't do it is because these are going to be in the soil over the entire winter, and you don't want them to have that exposed flesh because you want to help prevent rotting as much as possible. So I'm not going to cut these, I'm going to plant them whole. And here's a little secret. When you plant in spring, if you don't need to separate those potatoes out, you technically don't have to cut them up. Okay, it's a common practice, but if you've got if you have a small space like the 4x8 bed that I was planting in, and you've got plenty of potatoes to plant in that space, you can just plant the whole potatoes. That's how nature plants them. Okay, if we just left these alone and they grew on their own, they would be growing from the whole potato. So just a little tip there. Do with it what you will. If you prefer to chit your potatoes and plant the sections, then that's your prerogative. But I'm going to be planting these whole, so I'm going to broad fork this bed. I'm going to make 2 trenches. I'm going to plant my whole potatoes down each of those trenches, and then I'm going to cover it up with compost. I'm going to do a fairly deep layer of compost on this. I want these pretty deep, several inches deep, because I don't want them to be damaged by excessive freezing over the winter. A lot of people say planting in a raised bed could be a problem for this. We'll see. We'll try this out. This is the first time I've done this fall planting of potatoes, so we'll see how they come out. But we'll get them fairly deep underneath the compost, so hopefully they'll stay warm enough during winter, cold enough that they aren't sprouting yet, But when the soil warms up in the spring, as soon as it reaches the temperature for them to sprout and start growing, they'll be right there ready to start off. So let's get these planted, and next spring we'll see how it goes. So that puts these potatoes to bed for the winter, and hopefully come spring, once the weather starts to warm up, we'll start to see some potatoes sprout here. So I've got them covered with compost, as you saw. I'll let this settle, and then I'll come back later on and put another layer on top to keep in that heat so that they don't get totally frozen over winter. But otherwise, if all goes to plan, we'll have some early season potatoes here, and I'll follow up to let you all know how that comes out. If you like this gardening footage, I know a lot of the videos I put on here have to do with my beekeeping, and a lot of people have shared that they enjoy that. But if you like seeing this gardening content, please give this video a like and let me know that you'd like to see more. Go ahead and subscribe so you make sure not to miss any of my future videos on gardening or beekeeping, and occasionally I'll throw in a banjo song or two. I hope to see you in the future. Let me know also what you do with your green potatoes. Have you always just thrown them out? Are you planting a fall crop of potatoes for spring harvest? So I'd like to hear how things are going for you, what your plans are, and how you're dealing with your green potatoes. So let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.